Hi friends! With Season 8 getting closer, we officially know Fuse is going to be the new legend for Apex Legends Season 8. But there were a lot of leaks about Fuse and his abilities before the official launch, so I thought it would be fun to look back at all of the unreleased legends that we've had so far. Now this is mostly based on leaks before each season, and it's kind of data that's been data mined by those kind of famous data mines that you know, so of course it doesn't mean that we're guaranteed to get these legends in the future, but it's still quite a fun way to look at the potential for Apex Legends in the future. Now let's start with the best leak of all time, and I say the best because the way Respawn handled it was genius. And yes, I'm talking about Forge. You see, there were massive leaks in the build up to Season 4, and the whole community seemed certain that Forge was going to be the next legend for Apex Legends Season 4. If you remember back to the Grand Soiree arcade event, Forge's files were added to the game, and they even had abilities in the data files, so we had a rough idea of what his abilities would be. As you can see, there's a nice selection here, giving players a really good idea of what Forge would be like as a legend. It's fair to say around the same time Revenant was also found in the game files, but it was more thought that Forge was going to be the Season 4 legend and Revenant might be the Season 5 legend. And this brings us to the stories from the Outlands for Season 4. Forge took centre stage, and the community and the data miners looked to be correct. It looked like Forge was going to be the next legend. But then suddenly Revenant pops up out of nowhere and kills Forge. It was the biggest bamboozle in Apex Legends history. And since that day, whenever a legend is launched, the whole community always questions, is this really going to be the next legend? Rest in peace Forge, but that truly was the biggest bamboozle of all time. And of course we know the leaked Revenant actually did become the legend for Season 4, so at least one of these leaks did come true. We can also look at Rampart and Loba. They were also leaked before release. We've known about Rampart for a while, and we knew about Loba before. I think most people thought she was called Rosie, because that's what she was called in the game files, but then obviously when she launched as Loba. But those are the obvious legends that have leaked. Now let's look at a bunch of legends that have been leaked, but we haven't seen in the games yet. Like I said, no guarantees they will ever come to the game, and it's possible Respawn could mould these legends into other legends with different names that we see in the game, or even combine these legends to form one amazing legend. But let's take a look at who these legends could be. Again, this is all based on leaks that data miners have leaked. So our first one to look at is Valk, because I feel like Valk's probably the most well known. So Valk appeared a long time ago when this playtest sheet was leaked with Valk supposedly on it. Now the only things we know about Valk is Valk's supposedly a soaring aviator with the following abilities. The passive of VTOL jets, so essentially you can hold and kind of hover above the ground. The tactical is cluster missile, so you can fire a rocket that explodes multiple times. And then the ultimate is skyward. Press once to prepare for launch, then teammates can join you and you basically launch up into the sky and do another skydive. Kind of like a jump tower. Now I know there are some theories that potentially Valk was merged into what we have with Horizon today, but I'll show you a leaked screenshot at the end of this video, which, to be fair, might actually be fake, but you never know, and it does have Valk and Horizon on that screenshot, so it could mean Valk is a potential future legend. Next we have Jericho. Now Jericho's supposedly a big character, kind of like a Caustic or a Gibraltar, which isn't a bad thing because we haven't had a big character like them for a long time. We don't know too much about Jericho, but we have a rough idea of what his abilities could be. The passive is a ballistic shield protection. So your ballistic shield protects your back when you're not actively using it. The first ability is the ballistic shield, so it's a full body shield that protects you from incoming fire. I imagine something like Gibraltar's gun shield but for the whole body. And the ability 2 or potential ultimate is shield breaker javelins. So apparently you can throw these 2 electrically charged javelins that essentially burn through enemy shields. Kind of like, I guess, the disruptor rounds that we had with the Sentinel before it was changed. Now the next legend that has been leaked but we haven't actually seen in the games yet is Firebug. Although we've also had Prophet and Scunner released, it could be that these are the same people, and this might be a leaked image of her. Her supposed abilities are light step, so you're not slowed by traps, and you don't leave evidence for trackers, so this could be a good counter to Bloodhound. Your tactical as Firebug could be drop a pile of debris that slows and damages enemies when they move through it. And the ultimate, the Shiltram barrier grenade. You instantly create a spiked barrier made from rapid hardening resin. So Firebug definitely sounds like a defensive legend, and I think we could definitely do with seeing more of these kind of defensive legends. Next we have Hazaria. Again, we don't really know much about Hazaria. Apparently the nickname is Hard Breacher, and when we look at the abilities that kind of might explain why this could be her nickname. It does sound like she's built to be an aggressive legend, so this could be a really fun legend that we get in Hazaria. Let's look at her potential abilities. Her passive, Shotgun Kick, breaching shotgun on your calf that discharges when you melee doors or enemies. It requires shotgun ammo. The tactical, Flashbang, throw a grenade that briefly blinds and deafens opponents. And the ultimate, Concussive Breaching Charge, plant a breaching charge that fires a sonic wave through walls to destroy traps, force open doors, and disorientate enemies. So Hazaria could be a really great team player, it sounds like, especially for those sweaty ranked matches where you get teams just holding up in buildings. Next we have Nomad. Again, I think Nomad might be a more feasible legend that people have heard of. He definitely sounds like a team player, and you'll see that in his potential abilities. So his potential passive could be Pack Mule. Nomad and his teammates have additional backpack space. His tactical, Loot Compass, where you can follow the loot compass to the nearest item. This does seem a little bit like Loba's, where she can see loot through walls, but kind of brings a different twist to it, so it could be quite useful. I do feel like that would be a better passive though, rather than tactical. And the ultimate will be Crafting Table. Place a crafting table down, scrap salvageable material and purchase items. So it could be like the crafting materials that we get and the crafters that we get today, he's able to create a portable one, so as his ultimate he can just deploy one wherever he is. That could be quite a useful ultimate, so it definitely seems like Nomad's a team-based player. Next, let's look at Immortal, because Immortal sounds very cool. He sounds like an aggressive, but at the same time defensive legend, and you'll see that again in the abilities. So the passive, Hard to Kill. When you get downed, you can revive yourself. I think that's going to be super strong. You basically have a built-in self-revive. I'm sure it'll be on a timer, and in reality, if Immortal comes to the game, I don't think they'll make it a passive. I think the revive yourself might actually be a tactical or even ultimate. The tactical, Shield Charger / Teardown. So you can unleash a cloud of nanites to charge your team's shields, or hit a target with a cloud of nanites to kill their shields for a short period of time. I think this could be a really great tactical. It's got team benefits for your team, but also offensive benefits against enemies. The ultimate is Rise of the Phoenix. It restores your health and shields to full, and gives nearby teammates 30 seconds of self-revive, which takes 8 seconds to charge. Again, I think this could be a really great ultimate, and it kind of shows why Immortal's kind of an offensive legend but also a defensive legend at the same time. If Immortal does come to the game, I can see a lot of people switching from Lifeline to Immortal, because Immortal sounds like a really strong legend. But I guess we'll have to wait and see if Immortal ever does come to the games. Now let me finish with two legends you might actually be familiar with, because they're big players in the world of Titanfall and Apex Legends. And to be fair, we've seen them pop up a number of times already. Let's start with Blisk, everyone's favourite South African, with the awesome accent of a South African and the build of a wrestler. He's such a cool guy, and we know he's kind of in charge of the Apex games. He recruits all the top talent, but it could very well happen that he does enter the games as a legend. If that happens, there have been some leaks around what his abilities could be. For his passive, Interrogation. Executing an enemy will reveal the location of their allies for 10 seconds. This could be quite a good one. It's a little bit like Bloodhounds. The only downside is you have to execute an enemy. His tactical, Throwing Knife. Deals 20 damage and marks the target. Killing a marked target rewards double credits. I'm not sure about the credits thing, but it could be useful having a tactical knife where you can mark people with. I do feel like it might be hard to hit people. We haven't really had any melee weapons where you can physically throw. The only throwables we have are grenades, so it'll be interesting to see if this actually does come to the game. His ultimate is supposed to be Payday. Squad kills award credits. Spend credits on powerful supplies. Now again, I think this was leaked quite early on, potentially before we had the crafting materials. So it might be this Payday actually, instead of credits, becomes crafting materials that you can then use in the crafters. Although this doesn't seem like a super effective ultimate, so we'll have to wait and see whether they make changes. I really do think if they bring Blisk to the game, they're going to make his abilities a lot better than most other legends. So I think they'll probably make changes to what we've had leaked here. And let's finish on Ashe, because unfortunately we don't really have any abilities leaked for Ashe, so we don't really know what she can do. I imagine she'll have similar things to Revenant, particularly on the ability to climb walls and climb higher than other legends. She might even have a different variation on Revenant's tactical and ultimate, so it'll be interesting to see. But so far I haven't seen any leaks on what her abilities could be, but one thing's for sure, we know Ashe is pretty awesome. And if Ashe comes to the games, Ashe will be one of the most used legends, I'm sure, depending on her kit of course. Imagine if Ashe could also summon a Titan as her ultimate. That could be really cool. Again, a little bit far-fetched. I don't think we'll ever see Titans in Apex Legends, but you never know. And if you want to see how all these leaked legends could actually look on a selection screen. Like I said earlier in this video, there was this leaked image that seemed to show all the new legends that could be coming. Like I said though, it's quite possible this was a fake that someone just created, and it's kind of hard to believe that this actually is a real screenshot, but at the same time, it gives us a rough idea of all these leaked legends. If they came to the game, what would it look like? This gives you a rough idea. And by the way, some of the previous leaked legends, like Crypto, like Loba, like Rampart, like Revenant, have actually come to the game. So it's very possible that any of these previous leaked legends could come to the games in the future. And that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed looking at some of the leaked legends with me, all of these legends that haven't been released yet, but could potentially be released in the future. Who knows? Maybe they will become one of your mains in the game. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But whatever happens, I'm pretty sure we can say, we can trust Respawn. They always do an amazing job with legends, and I'm hoping in the future it will just get even better. For now though, thanks for watching, I'll catch you later.